A few years ago, Coleman rocked the industry, coming out with this 17B, a single axle family bunkhouse model that was super affordable. Since then, other manufacturers have started to get into the game, and now we have the Eddie Bauer. Let's get into it. Now, while it's not a unique floor plan, they've added a ton of features and just made it so much more aesthetically pleasing. Up front, of course, is going to be your bedroom, kitchen on the side. You have bunks in the back and, of course, a rear bathroom. But I think the kitchen is really where things start to stand out. You will see that you have thermoformed countertops, a fireplace, some additional storage, and a 12-volt refrigerator. And what Eddie Bauer has done, not only did they put in upgraded thermoformed countertops rather than a T-mold, but they've also kind of separated the sink and cooktop. And by doing that, while it minimizes the space on the sides, it maximizes the space right here in the center, so you actually get some usable prep space. In a floor plan, you oftentimes don't get any. Now, of course, they did have to turn the 2-burner cooktop sideways as expected, and it is going to be a little bit smaller sink, but they did give you the high-rise faucet, so you can at least wash a few dishes in there. But again, you're not going to fit a ton in it. It's just kind of the reality of the layout. You will see that you have kind of this applique here for a backsplash. Then you have the window to let in some natural light. Now, as far as storage, you'll see that you have different colored uppers. I like that it gets lighter as you go up. I really like the colors in the Eddie Bauer. You can see the storage right up there. You have like the champagne bronze pulls. And then as we drop down, again, it goes into like almost like that deep forest green, that Eddie Bauer green, just absolutely beautiful. And this one comes with a fireplace. Now, while this is your primary heat source, you're not going to be able to camp in this one in cold weather. Having that fireplace will help take the chill off on a little bit cooler night in the summer. Plus, it really creates a nice aesthetic. And on top of that, you also get a drawer right over here to the side. Again, not a super deep drawer, but it is enough that you can put some flatware in there. As for the controls for the Eddie Bauer, you will find those conveniently stashed away right here. As soon as you walk in, you'll find an electrical outlet as well as the tankless water heater. We'll talk about that a little bit when we hit the bathroom. You also see your tank monitoring panel there and the switch for your water pump. Now, we talked about cool nights, but what if it's hot? Well, right up top is going to be a roof mount. That's right, roof mount AC. Far too often these units, they have a sidewall unit and it just doesn't look good, and then it drips condensation down the side of the RV and it's hard to keep clean. By going with roof mount, it eliminates all that, and that does an excellent job of keeping things nice and cool. Speaking of roof, take a look at the ceiling. Rather than having normal strips, you have light strips on here. This makes it super bright in the coach, and if it's too bright, not a problem because this is on a dimmable switch, so you can set that lighting exactly to where you want it. You also see a microwave right up here, and underneath that, you have the Everchill 12-volt compressor-driven refrigerator, so that way that will just run off your batteries. The rest of the living area has a dinette built for two with an easy access electrical outlet, storage up top, and bunks in the back corner. So let's slide right in here. Now, I will say, if there's one thing that I have to say I don't necessarily love about the floor plan, it's this. Well, while the dinette is perfectly comfortable and it's great for two, I think it's exactly that. I think it's built for two. And when you bring the family along, a lot of times you want to be able to sit and have a meal together. And you know I'm not the smallest guy ever, but it's going to be pretty tough to fit two people on either side of this dinette. And because of that, when you drop down into a bed, it's not going to be as wide of a bed either. It'll probably still work for a little kiddo or if you have a pack and play, but beyond that, it's probably not going to sleep many people. Now, the table itself is a pedestal style table, so it is nice and easy to drop down into a bed. You will see the window there to let in natural light, a convenient electrical outlet, so if you need to plug anything in while sitting at the table, or if you just need to charge a cell phone overnight, that's a great spot to do it. Some additional storage right up top here. They have this open. Personally, I would have liked to have had this closed in. The only thing I do like about having it open is I get to show off my board game collection. But that's just me. That's probably not everyone. But when I go camping, we're definitely playing some board games. Right next to that, you see some additional storage space here. And then right in the back corner are going to be your bunks. This is the other thing I don't super love, is that this top bunk is only 200-pound weight capacity, which means a lot of friends that, I might have stay the night if they're not kiddos, it wouldn't work for. It would work for my kids, of course, but that's not always the case for everyone, especially if you have older kids or you're just a tall family. 200 pounds sometimes can be a little tough. Underneath, you have that second bunk. Something I do like, though, is that they have a light on both the top and bottom bunk. A lot of times in this floor plan, they won't have a light on the bottom. They also has a USB port built into that light in case you need to charge electronics. And then all the way down below is going to be huge extra storage. This, again, is a huge win in the floor plan. Love that storage there. You'll see an electrical outlet located here, too, in case the kids need to plug anything in to the wall. The bathroom features a foot flush lever toilet and a shower with an on-demand water heater. And before you even enter the bathroom, you have this door. I really like what they've done. It just, again, it's something a little bit different. It's just a little more aesthetically pleasing than what we normally see. As for space, I have plenty of room for both my legs as well as my shoulders. No worries whatsoever. I have some space between the toilet and the tub as well, so you can step out. The only thing I think that is missing that I would have liked to have seen is a sink in here. Now, that's pretty common for this floor plan to not have a sink in the bathroom, but I have seen some manufacturers that have like an airplane sink or a little corner sink, and I think that is definitely a welcome addition. The other thing is for the shower itself, you just have the tub. There isn't a surround. I would have liked to have seen a surround. And at 6 foot tall, I can stand up here in the vent, but anywhere else, I'm going to have to duck down. The nice thing, though, is even if I am ducking, I will still have near limitless hot water thanks to the on-demand water heater. So even though it may be a little short, I can still enjoy a nice, hot, long shower. The bedroom features a residential queen-size bed with storage underneath, plus a storage shelf up top and space to mount a TV. A huge win for this Eddie Bauer camper, though, is this right here. This is a true 60 by 80 residential queen size bed. Why is that important? Well, because mattresses are going to be very particular to the person. What works for me might not work for you and vice versa. So with this right here, if you want a different mattress, you can swap it out nice and easy because it is residential size. And on top of that, there's good storage space underneath, and it's separated from your pass-through, so you can just have things that need to be inside and things for outside. You'll also see your big shelf right up top here. Plus, if you want a TV, there's a place to mount it there, and the connections will be right up on the ceiling. All right, let's take a look at the outside of the 2025 Eddie Bauer 17BH-C, which, for the record, C stands for conventional build. That's what we'll see when we go around this one. You have the aluminum exterior on both the front as well as the side. You will see that you have a manual tongue jack right here, but that is an easy upgrade to a power tongue jack if you want to do so. You also see a 20-pound propane tank as well as rails there for the battery. Coming around to the side, as I mentioned, that aluminum exterior here. You'll also notice that big pass-through. I talked about this when we were inside. And when I say big, it's relative. Is it large for all travel trailers? No. But is it big for this particular layout? It is. And again, it goes all the way through, which oftentimes you don't get on this layout because they will put, different things in the other side just to kind of free up some space on the interior. You will also see the power awning there with an LED light strip. You have your entry door here with your single step. You'll also have your JBL sound system. You have 2 outside speakers. Your city water inlet will be here, your fresh tank fill right behind that. And as we talked about, this one has the tankless water heater, which you will see there. Now, something else I want to talk about that I think is a pretty big deal, especially at this price point. Most of the times on this floor plan, rear stabilizer jacks are common, but what you don't often get are front stabilizer jacks, and this one has them. And myself and the gentleman behind the camera, Aaron, are moving around in there. We're pretty decent sized guys. We're not small by any means. And as we're both moving around, in this one, the camper is a lot more stationary than many other single axles. So definitely a big fan of the 4 stabilizer jacks. Right up top is backup camera prep. So if you want backup camera, that makes it easier to have it installed, meaning it'll save you a little bit of cash. It's literally a plug and play installation, an easy DIY project. Right down underneath, you will see your termination with both a black and gray tank valve. If you want to climb up on the roof, it is a fully walkable roof. You can see the ladder prep is right over on the side, kind of what we see on a toy hauler. Why they chose to put it there instead of the back, I don't know, but either way, it's just a telescoping ladder and it gets you up onto the roof. Right over here is going to be your cable inlet there. You will also see this one has your 30 amp power cord built in. Some advantages to that is the fact you don't have to worry about lugging it around. The disadvantage is it can be just a little more of a pain to pull it in and out of that hole. If you're looking at single axle family campers, a few things this one has that others may not is upgraded lighting. You have big storage under the beds, including that 60 by 80 residential queen size bed and a roof mount AC that is pretty rare in this layout.